Yo, what it do, YouTube, man? It's your boy IQ, and back with another banger video. Now, first reaction on this channel. I know we really don't do reactions, but hey, first reaction on the channel, first official look at the gameplay. First official look at the gameplay. The first video we're going to be watching is grinding. And before we even get into the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. But look at the screen. Look at Kyrie. Look at all the players, and look at how big the court looks compared to how big the players look. The players, before we even play the video, look small. But like he said in his title, we will be able to see the new takeovers, the dribble move, the badges, and more. So let's take a look what grinding is talking about, man. Let's get into our first ever reaction video.
LeBron's step back is back in NBA 2K25.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Trae Young escape is back in NBA 2K25. Takeover has been completely.
Ooh, what is that? What is that? I see a plane. Yo, bro, we're not gonna talk about how you have 65 with Curry, because I know you're gonna make the shot. Grinding, get off the game, bro. Get off the. Anyways, bro.
Revamped in NBA 2K25. From how fast you get it all the way to losing takeover if you miss a single shot. Dunk meter has had some minor changes, including when you should start the dunk meter animation for the best results. If you think 6'8" builds are going to be too slow and too big to be viable, you are 100% wrong. Mainly because Giannis Antetokounmpo moving crossover will absolutely be feeding slasher spam.
It looks beautiful. Grinding, bro. Grinding, bro. If I could give you a hug, I would give you. Hey, bro, I know you might watch this video. Please, grind it. Bring it in. Bring it in, buddy. This is beautiful, bro.
Families all year long. And finally, there are brand new badges in NBA 2K25, including one specific shooting badge that is the most overpowered badge I have ever seen. And no, it's not Legend Limitless Reign. You just learned 10 things about NBA 2K25 in less than a minute. Imagine how much you learn if you watch the whole video. What's up, Simply Squad? It's your boy Gameplay Guru Grinding, and I need y'all to drop a like right now, because the second this video hits 1K likes, I will drop the first ever 3v3 Rivet City Park gameplay on NBA 2K25. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all are in for a treat today, because not only am I breaking down everything you need to know about NBA 2K25 City Park gameplay
is that
on
like
NBA
new speed
2K25. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all are in for a treat today, because not only am I breaking down everything you need to know about NBA 2K25's gameplay in this video, tomorrow I'm also gonna be breaking down the entire 2K25 builder. That means I'm showing you guys all 72 takeovers, every single badge requirement, the attribute ratings you need to unlock every single contact dunk animation, and so much more. I'm going so in depth in that video that by the time you're done watching, you will literally be able to lab your 2K25 build a week before you even get on the game. So make sure you're subbed with notifications on so you don't miss out on that. Even if you think you're already subbed, double check and make sure that bell is clicked, because trust me, you do not want to miss out. Now, without further ado, let's break down this gameplay. Alright, y'all, we're gonna cover things in order of most importance. And the most important change in NBA 2K25 by far are the changes to takeover. In past years, all you need to do to get takeover is make 3 to 4 shots, and then from that point on, you'd have takeover for a predetermined amount of time. That is not how it works at all in NBA 2K25. First off, it takes forever to get takeover this year. To give you an example, it took Steph Curry 42 points, aka 14 3-pointers, to finally get takeover. Now, the good news about this is that it seems that this is only a quick play feature, because in 3v3 park gameplay, we were able to see people get takeover at the 17-point mark without even scoring the majority of the points with that player. But regardless, 42 points was insane to me, especially considering I was shooting threes, and usually when you do what the player is meant to do, your takeover shoots up. But that just wasn't the case. And you know what's crazy? That's not even the significant change. The major change in takeover is that once you get takeover, you can literally lose it instantly if you miss your first shot. If you get a turnover, if you throw a bad pass, if you do anything that would negatively affect your takeover, you can lose takeover even when it's activated. Now, do you
I love that for this game, bro. For all y'all tryhards that be trying to clip and all of that, good luck when you get your takeover. It's over. Let's go, bro.
You lose your entire takeover meter that took you forever to build up just because you made one mistake? No, that's also not how it works. Instead of losing your entire takeover meter when you make a mistake, it will just drop to the point right before you had takeover. So if you do something positive again, you will gain takeover again. The best way I can describe takeover this year is a heat check badge in NBA 2K24 that you can gain and lose repeatedly. So obviously y'all already know that takeover is split into 5 levels, and then you get your takeover ability. As you do good things in the game, you will level it up all the way from level 0 to level 5, with each level progressively raising your attribute ratings. And then once you reach level 5, you will unlock your actual takeover ability, whether it's being able to shoot from deep or being able to get more ankle breakers, whatever takeover ability you chose. Now once you get your takeover ability, if you keep doing good things, your takeover ability will stay on your player. But if the first possession you activated your takeover ability, you get a turnover, you will instantly lose your takeover and the bar will drop to right before you had your takeover. Meaning you can activate and reactivate your takeover multiple times throughout a game. Y'all let me know if you think this is a good or bad change for NBA 2K25. I think it's interesting for sure. On the plus side, you'll never have those moments where you make one mistake right before you had takeover and your whole bar just depletes to 0. I know y'all know that feeling sucks. But at the same time, I don't know how I feel about someone activating and reactivating their takeover over and over again throughout the entire game. And I think there might be some sort of timer with this as well, because if you look at the 3v3 park gameplay, you'll see that a player has takeover, and then as he's catching the ball, the takeover disappears. He didn't do anything wrong, no negative thing happened, but he still lost his takeover. And then after he makes the shot, the player gets his takeover back. So my best guess is that your takeover gradually decreases over time. Probably a slight decrease, probably nothing crazy, but I think it's only when you actually have takeover activated. That way you don't have takeover the entire game. The reason I say that is because as you went up takeovers, I never saw a player's takeover go down unless like the quarter ended or something like that, but that's pretty normal. But I did notice players' takeover meter go down when they had takeover, even if no turnover or missed shot happened. We're gonna have to see how it plays out in the park. I think it's gonna be really interesting, but I did take the time to get takeover with Steph Curry, whose takeover I'm pretty sure I can't say the name of, but basically it increases his green window from further out so he can get more consistent greens while shooting deep threes. And I also got Trae Young's takeover, which boosts the effectiveness of off the dribble shooting as well as raises his chance of getting ankle breakers. And the last thing I'll say about takeover is if you're overwhelmed with the fact that there's 72 takeovers, there's actually 14 takeover abilities like the 2 I just named, and then there's 72 ways to get to those takeovers. If that sounds confusing to you, good. You have a reason to watch tomorrow's video where I can go in depth and explain exactly what I mean. So make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you do not miss out on that video. Now the next major change in NBA 2K25 is the dribbling system. You cannot speed boost the same way you did in NBA 2K24 in NBA 2K25. Now I know the 2K community. I know all y'all heard out of that sentence was you cannot speed boost in NBA 2K25. And that's just not true. You can speed boost in NBA 2K25, just not the same way you did in 2K24. To speed boost last year, all you had to do was do a hezzy to the right side and sprint to the right side, and you would get a speed boost to the right side. And vice versa, if you did a hezzy to the left side and sprinted to the left side, you would get a speed boost to the left side. But if you try to do that in NBA 2K25, you get a really slow run animation. Basically a run animation that will not get you open against any real human unless they are missing both of their thumbs. Instead, the most effective way to get open in NBA 2K25 is by utilizing your right and left stick. Somebody please show this clip I got to Stizo. It's nothing crazy in the slightest. It's not even good, but you can clearly see the difference between how fast your player moves when you only use your right stick and how fast your player moves when you incorporate left stick dribble moves with your right stick combo. And the reason I said show it to Stizo is because this little mini spin back thing I do, it just seems like something he would do like a half hezzy out of and turn it into a crazy combo. Listen, I'm not a comp dribbler. I've never claimed to be one. All I am is a 2K no life who sweats the park. So I'm gonna leave the dribbling and speed boost into the dribble head. But for my 2K players out there who want to have a high win percentage on day one, I did go out of my way to find the best dribble moves you should equip if your build allows it. So let's go over those right now. 2 returning moves from 2K24 that are still good on 2K25 are of course the LeBron step back and the Trae Young size up escape. A new animation that's really good in 2K25 is the Trae Young hezzy, which you can see gives you a misdirection animation that you can combo into a left stick crossover to get a speed boost on the opposite side, literally any dribble animation from De'Aaron Fox is goated. You can just instantly see that when he's dribbling, it looks way more fluent than any other NBA player.
Bro, this looks like the old nostalgic glitchy.
That I predict will save 6'6" and taller builds this year is the Giannis Antetokounmpo moving crossover. I'm not even trolling. I will be so surprised if there's even one crossover better than this crossover at launch. I tested out hundreds of NBA players during my time with this quick play footage, and not a single one came even close to competing with the explosiveness you get out of this moving crossover. You literally just fly through the paint and it crosses over to the opposite ball hand, so the defense doesn't have time to react. Now, I will say this is obviously on.
What does that remind you guys of, chat? Doesn't that remind you guys of what is that, Devin Booker? I forgot what the other one was, but doesn't that remind you of like the Devin Booker crossover in the, bro, Jesus Christ, grinding.
Giannis, who is 6'10" and super long, but I just can't see this dribble move not being overpowered on a 6'8" max wingspan ISO build. Just absolutely steamrolling through the paint. Between this moving crossover and the blowout dribble from last year, which by the way, the controls changed for, instead of just tapping RT to do this blowout dribble from full court, you actually have to hold RT and flick up on your right stick. Just something I wanted y'all to know. So, different controls.
For anyone that doesn't know what that means, we used to do the running animation by just flicking your back right trigger. Now what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to hold it and flick your right trigger up. Wow. Thank you, grinding.
Same effectiveness, just a really fast way for you to get up the court, but you can only use it from full court now. So once you get to half court, you can implement this Giannis moving crossover and get a free fast break done. Now, I don't want to go too into dribbling because y'all know how it goes. First week, everyone always figures out the meta sigs, and then the rest is history from there. What I will say, my first impressions on the dribbling is that speed boosting is completely changed, meaning there's obviously a different way to do it in the game this year that isn't like any other year. And two, the dribble moves that we did get, I actually like a lot. We just need to figure out how to speed boost out of them for them to be actually effective. And I've heard that a couple creators at Community Day have figured it out, which gives me a lot of hope. On the off chance that the speed boosting is terrible off of these new cool looking moves, I'm not gonna lie, Mike, we gonna need a hot fix because being able to speed boost off these new moves would make the game fun. Alright, so we've covered takeover, we've covered dribbling. The next change we need to cover is a minor change to the dunk meter. First, let's talk about the driving dunk meter. The controls are exactly the same as they were last year. You flick up on your right stick and then you flick down on your right stick, which will allow you to go for a nasty contact dunk animation, and some of the animations are insane. A lot of them are just outright disrespectful to your opponent, bro. I love it. But what I did notice is it was taking me a little bit longer to get used to the dunk meter this year because whenever I was going for the dunk meter, it wouldn't do it. And about 2 hours in, I finally realized the reason the dunk meter wasn't activating is because you have to start the dunk meter animation way earlier this year. My pro tip to you guys, if you're making a build that has a high driving dunk, like I am going to, I want legend posterizer, but if you're going to be going for contact dunks with the dunk meter, you want to start the dunk meter animation right before you get to the free throw line. I know that sounds insane, especially on a small build like John Morant's build. He's 6'3". You would think that you would have to start it closer to the paint, but genuinely, you start the dunk meter animation right when you're about to cross the free throw line. If you do that, every time you go for a dunk meter, you will actually start the dunk meter animation. I promise you. But if you try and risk it and wait till you're closer in the paint and do a last second dunk meter, you're going to be getting a lot of contact layups, or your player is just going to do a random hezzy in the paint and it's going to look really stupid. So just make sure to write that in your notes somewhere, have that in your head. Whenever you're doing the dunk meter, if it's not working for you and you don't know why, you have to start the animation right when you're about to cross the free throw line. And I genuinely can't wait till tomorrow where I can show you footage of me absolutely dunking on everybody there at Community Day with my small guard build, because I knew this information and a lot of them didn't. So the reactions I got from a lot of them when I was dunking on them with a tiny little build from all the way past the free throw line was hilarious. And then the standing dunk meter is pretty much the same. The only real changes I noticed is that one, there's no dead zone anymore, mainly because you can't jab step in the paint anymore. It's just not a control that's allowed in the paint. And two, as someone who struggled to do standing dunk meters, it seemed a lot easier to get the animation to go off this year. So if you struggled like me in the past with a standing dunk meter, you should find it easier this year. And if you didn't struggle at all, you're gonna find it really easy to activate the standing dunk animation. I did see some dead zone-like animations from people against AIs where it seemed like they got a rebound and then there was nothing the AI could really do, and then they just did a standing dunk, contact dunk right over their face. But honestly, it's quick play. We're not gonna really know until we actually play against each other in the rec and park. If they did fix the dead zone glitch, I guess you could call it. It's just something we're gonna have to wait and see, but for the most part, the standing dunk meter seemed relatively the same, if not then with minimal changes. The next thing we need to talk about are the brand new badges, specifically one overpowered brand new badge that I'm predicting is going to be a staple of NBA 2K25. Do me a favor and look at these 6 badges right here. Now I want you to pause the video and comment down below which badge you think is going to be the most overpowered all year long. All right, I'm gonna give you a second. Okay, hopefully you got your answers down in the comments. If you guessed limitless range, congratulations, you are wrong. But if you guessed Deadeye, you are also wrong. Now, if you guessed shifty shooter, you are 100% right. This badge is used so often in gameplay.
Yes, sir. Already. Yeah.
It's actually ridiculous. But granted, what does it do? Well, if you only read the description, you would think that it increases your green window when you shoot fades or off the dribble shots. But just like Agent 3's this year, Shifty Shooter activates on every single shot you shoot. It doesn't matter if it's a catch and shoot jump shot. It doesn't matter if you dribbled a couple times, stopped for 8 seconds, and then shot it. It doesn't matter if you shoot a fade from Narnia. No matter what shot you shoot, as long as it would be considered a jump shot, Shifty Shooter activates and increases your green window drastically. Now,
I'm not gonna lie. All right, so we're looking at the pick and roll right here. That's dope. That is dope. Okay, we're getting to see what the pick and roll is looking like. Okay, that's dope. Now, if Shifty Shooter is that much of an overpowered shooting badge, aligned with limitless range and with this right stick shooting function, shooting in NBA 2K25 might be overpowered, even though we're only limited to 5 shooting badges the whole year. Watch and see what I say. Yeah, just watch.
Now, why am I telling you this? Because tomorrow we get to show you the builder, and while you're watching those builder videos, you need to keep in mind that you want to have Shifty Shooter on your build, and you want to have it at the highest tier possible for the best results. Whether that's getting Shifty Shooter to Hall of Fame in the builder and then using your max +1 to get it legend, or if you're making some type of build that can't get the shooting requirements to get it that high, then I'd at least suggest to try and make your build get gold Shifty Shooter so you can either use cap breakers or max +1 to get it to Hall of Fame. It is super rare for 2K to drop a badge that activates nearly every single offensive possession that doesn't end in a rim run. So yes, if I was going to make a tier list about potential badges before NBA 2K25 drops, Shifty Shooter would be S tier and everything else would be a tier below. Now, you've sat here and watched this 10, 15, 20-minute video, whatever it is so far, and you haven't heard me mention Adrenaline once. And that's because Adrenaline is exactly the same in NBA 2K25 as it was in NBA 2K24. I'm talking not a single difference in the Adrenaline system, which for the most part is a good thing. I liked how Adrenaline worked in 2K24. Some people may argue that they don't want Adrenaline at all, but I mean, it's in the game, so if it's in the game, I'd want it implemented as it was in 2K24, except for one thing. I had this complaint all the way last year after last community day, and the complaint is that post scores still do not lose any Adrenaline meter no matter what they do in the post. They can hold LT and back you down for 24 seconds, do 8 drop steps, 15 pump fakes, and not lose a single Adrenaline meter. And I really wish that would change. One, because post scores are always one of the most overpowered builds in 2K every single year. Legitimately, there's not a single year where post scores have been a bad build to use on the 1 score. And 2, tomorrow you're gonna see that this year, it is ridiculously easy to get every legend badge you would want on a post score without sacrificing anything else you would need. Like, genuinely, you cannot make a bad post scorer build, at least for the 1s court where they're meant to be played. Yes, you can make a bad post scorer build for the 2s or 3s because you need defense and pass accuracy and stuff like that, but for the 1s court, you can make an overpowered post scorer build, get every legend badge in the game that you would want, and still have attributes left over. So the fact that they don't lose any Adrenaline no matter what they do, it just seems like overkill to me, and it's the one thing I would really want to see changed about the game. If not down for 2K25 than at least on 2K26. I'm not trying to hate on y'all post scores. Listen, it's no secret that I don't like y'all's playstyle, but I do believe that everybody should have fun on the game with whatever build they want to run. I just want this changed for the sake of balance. But yeah,
bro, I haven't seen Jokic's adrenaline bar go down once since backing down AD, and AD is primarily a good defensive player of the year, top 5 in the league at all, like right now, and Jokic's adrenaline bar did not go down.
yeah, like I said, no changes to adrenaline. Other than that, everything that you did on 2K24 to lose an adrenaline meter is everything you would do to lose an adrenaline meter on 2K25. So you should expect the exact same in that department. Does strength matter? We hear the rumors about strength every single year. Oh, you need strength this year. You're gonna get punished if you don't go it. From what I saw at Community Day, I'm gonna say the same thing I said last year again this year. You will only need strength if you want a badge associated with strength in the builder. But do you need strength because you saw Giannis bulldoze someone in this quick play gameplay? No. Do you need strength because you saw LeBron absolutely bully someone in this quick play gameplay? No. But let's say you're making a lockdown and you want a certain defensive badge that goes off of your strength rating, then yes, you would need strength on your build. Me personally, on a lot of my builds, I'm not going strength. Why? Because I didn't get baited last year when it came to strength, and I did perfectly fine, 95 win percentage basically every single season. And I'm not gonna get baited this year when it comes to strength. Yes, some of my builds will have strength, but only the builds that I want the certain badges that go along with strength. Not because I'm afraid of one of you guys coming out on a 6'10" and absolutely botting me in the paint. So to answer the does strength matter question, yes, it matters, but only for reasons specific to the builder, not gameplay related reasons. Nobody can affirmatively say that it has gameplay related repercussions based off of quick play. And if they are super adamant that you need to upgrade strength because if not, you're gonna get bulldozed, they are 100% gassing it. Nobody can tell the real gameplay from quick play animations against AI. It's just not how it works. And don't worry, we'll go more into depth about strength in tomorrow's video with the builder breakdown. And the last thing I want to talk about before I give y'all my final overview of thoughts of what I think about the game is the defense in NBA 2K25, more specifically the blitz, steals, and paint defense. Now, take this with a grain of salt because we are playing against AIs at the end of the day, but from what I've seen, it felt pretty much similar with the blitz steals. You run up and you time a good steal, you'll get the steal. And for paint defense, I really couldn't tell because again, we're against AI players. We're really not gonna know how it feels until we get in the rec, get in the pro-am, get in the park, and see how it feels against online real players. You may have noticed that in this video, I didn't really cover how the offense is, how the defense is, how the finishing is, and like the make or miss percentages of what you should expect on offense or what you should expect on defense, because for me, it seems disingenuous. Again, you can't really tell too much off quick play gameplay. So I didn't want to come on here and be like, oh yeah guys, paint defense looks way better, and then you load up the rec on day one and you're getting dunked on over and over again. Or be like, oh yeah, limitless range is overpowered because I'm greening shots on pro and rookie difficulty in quick play. Like the shots that I'm making and the shots that I'm taking here are not a good representation of 2K25's online gameplay that we're gonna experience in the park. So instead, I decided to hit y'all with the cold hard facts. I hope y'all appreciate that. Obviously not including the post score nerf. That's just for the balance of the game. That obviously is my opinion, but I hope y'all can appreciate that. I just wanted to give y'all everything that we know to be true in 2K25 instead of what I think should be true in 2K25. But anyways, my final thoughts on the game so far. I think it is a really solid base. The first thing I want to say is cap breakers and max +1 are probably the greatest addition we've had to a launch of 2K in like 5 years. I'm telling you, just the potential of your player getting better over time in itself with the cap breakers is just such a good idea. I wish I thought of it. Like genuinely, 2K deserves props for that because it is actually such a good incentive to keep people playing the game. The only question marks I have about the replayability of NBA 2K25 so far is actually going to come with the rep system. If the rep system's bad, then the cap breakers aren't going to be enough to keep people on the game. But if the rep system's good and then we have the cap breakers on top of it, we could have a lit game all year. So I really hope they cooked with the rewards. Obviously, I don't know anything about it, but if they did, we'll be in for a great year. If they didn't, it could get a little shaky. So we're gonna have to see. The actual dribble moves they added in the game, I like them a lot. Like the Trae Young, the De'Aaron Fox, John Moran had some good dribble moves. The individual dribble moves, I like them a lot. Not being able to speed boost out of them like we normally would has me a little scared, because if we can't speed boost, then the dribble moves don't matter. That's the whole point we use the OP dribble moves, is so we could get like a fast little agility out of it and we can beat our defenders. So if they added these super cool new moves and you can't get that burst of acceleration out of it, then it's gonna be rough, I can't lie. But that's where I'm gonna have faith in the dribblers to find the way to speed boost this year, and then we all adjust, and then we can all use these new creative moves, so not everyone is using LeBron step back, Jamal Murray behind the back, and doing the exact same thing. And then finally, the takeover system, I think it's a good idea if it's implemented properly, if it doesn't take too long in part games to get it. We want to get it around like 12 to 15 points so you could use it for 3 possessions. So we're gonna have to see how fast you can get takeover. Maybe there's takeover perks that allow you to get it quicker like we had last year. Who knows? We're gonna have to see. I like that you don't lose your entire takeover bar if you mess up, but you can also go in and out of takeover super easily. It just rewards you for playing well and punishes you for playing bad, which I think should be a good thing. A lot of the time this year you see someone get takeover and start shooting crazy shots, and then they keep takeover because it's on a timer instead of how they're playing. So now it should keep people a little humble, because if they mess around too much, they're gonna lose their takeover.
That's
and
dope.
they just don't
That's
have it anymore.
facts.
And
that
then
is dope.
finally, the shooting. I'm not gonna talk about the success of makes or anything. Again, I was on a low difficulty to get this gameplay, but the shooting, there is a lot of customization this year, meaning you can choose exactly where you want your jump shot to release whenever you make a custom jump shot. You can choose high risk, high reward if you're a skilled player, or you can choose low risk, low reward if you're just trying to learn the game. There's just a lot of customization, and that's all we want as 2K players, is being able to control everything our player does. I'm hoping eventually in the future we have even more control over our dribble moves, like maybe we can combine certain dribble moves to make our own rhythm dribble. I think that'd be pretty cool. And one dribble move that I didn't see that I really hope makes it come back one time is, if you remember on 2K19, if you flicked up on your right stick, you could like back up to the 3-point line and shoot immediately after that, and you would get like a normal timing on your jump shot. I don't know, I just missed that move so much. I really hope that comes back in a 2K one day. But anyways, y'all, that's pretty much it. That's everything you need to know about NBA 2K25's gameplay. If you still have questions, drop them down below. I'll be answering questions all day while I'm editing the other videos. Make sure you subscribe with notifications on for the builder video tomorrow. Trust me, you're not gonna want to miss it. But
Hey man, big shout out to Grinding, man. Congratulations again for making community day. My honest thoughts, bro, I will not lie, that Giannis crossover is gonna be a problem. We already know LeBron step back are back. We got to see Rivet City gameplay. The takeovers, that little airplane takeover that Stephen Curry was using, that looks overpowered. We already know that rhythm shooter is going to be the most overpowered shooting badge in the game, as well as mini marksman for those that missed what he said earlier in the video. But also more importantly, more importantly, the size of the court compared to the players is what is really catching my eye. But hey man, y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comment section down below. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe. The link to Grinding's official video for you guys to go watch it again without my reaction is in the description down below. Once again, thank you guys for all the love and the support. Reaction number 2 on the way. I'll see you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.
It's okay to be falling so deep. I've been lost in my mind, zoned out, but I'm still falling in love with this other side of me right now. Love, yeah.